make this canvas today. I just want to show you the size of canvas is 11 by 14, and I got a value pack, Michael's. It was on sale, so I got actually a couple of them. So this is my canvas. So I'm going to start working on that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw down some book paper first of all, and I'm going to use some, not gesso, I'm going to use some matte medium today from DecoArts. So I'll show you what I got. Matte medium, I don't know if you can see that from DecoArts, and I'm going to throw that on there today. I was going to use a palette knife, I think. I didn't add any more gesso. I'm just going to play with it like this. Just adding some texture. Now, I just thought I'd do some book paper. Who knows what's going to show on here. I have this basket tub here full of ripped up paper random. And I'm going to put some of that, and I might put some borders on. So, I have that on hand. And I'm going to play with just a totally nice mixed media canvas. No planning, just having some fun. So, a brush might be a little easier, I don't know, but I just thought I'd just do it this way and have fun with it. So, that's my plan. I might have to stick some on the back of the paper here. Going really crazy. This canvas is going to be tons of mixed media. I might even gesso a little bit to pull back some of the stuff that I have in there. And we're just going to play with different stuff in a different way and have fun with it. And I'm kind of far away from my table here, so I'll move closer. I had the container on my lap. Can everybody see? I'm just flipping it over. I don't know how much of this is going to show through. So, putting it on, flipping it over. This is just really random in here. Get my hair out of there. And one more piece of this. And now I got some painted bubble splashes, and I just did some computer paper, and then I just tore it apart. So I just added food coloring to bubbles to get this look in this paper. Food coloring, bubbles, and played with that. So it's just nice to have tons of paper ripped up to use that in that way. I got one more, it's pretty big, but it's okay. Now it's just some texture, some background, and basically it. Just for something different. Now I got a little bit of paper coming off. That's okay. Now I'm going to dry this up. I think I'm going to add a little bit of tissue here and there. Here's a few painted leftover rolled up tissue. add some of that in here for some interest. Don't know how much of it's going to be showing through. There we go. This is a mixed media canvas I'm working on, and really not thinking about it. And some of the colors are coming from the food coloring probably. That's okay. And this is mail, happy mail stuff sent to me. And that's it. That's all I'm putting on there for now. Now I'm going to put on some gesso using my same palette knife that I just wiped away. I'm just going to throw on some gesso on this board. I dried it, and yeah, that's my plan, is now just to gesso it. Might seem a little odd. And I'm just going to make sure that my palette knife kind of scrapes everywhere. I'm going to get lots of texture. And whatever peers through is meant to be. So that's what I'm doing. Just scraping all different directions because my papers are all different directions, and little mounds, little crinkles, that kind of thing. And I really want to get that nice texture out of that gesso as well. And there we go, got lots on there. Looking good. I really like how that turned out. Perfect. And I got such texture on there. Can you see all that texture? So it's going to be really, really nice. So this is dry now. I have this drawing I want to work into here, and I got to be careful because I did it with softer pencil, and I don't want to smear it too much, but I'm going to work it out how I want it. But this sketch here that I've done, I'm going to somehow work it in here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it out. And I'm going to continue with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my matte medium, stick it on the back of my drawing. All over the back, and then stick it on. And this is just kind of drawings out of my sketchbook, a drawing out of my sketchbook. And I didn't have a plan to use it, but I thought, since I was making a canvas, I was trying to think of what image I could use, and I could use like a magazine image or whatever, but I decided to use one of my drawing sketches, and you could just pull them out of your drawing book too. So that's always nice to have sketches, your own sketches too, that you can use. So what I'm going to do now is flip them over. And I really wasn't thinking I was ever going to use her for anything. There's just no plan at all. So now I'm just going to put her down on here. Grab a napkin here. Just pushing it down. I'm still hoping that, well, some of this pencil is going to smear. I could just do a little coat of matte. I'm going to put a little coat of matte on it, just a teeny coat. So then I don't have my colors that I'm planning to use on it tainted with, because this is kind of almost like a very dark light pencil, so it's going to be, it'll really change the colors. So I wasn't planning on using it. I was just playing around. But since I did use it, that's what I gotta do. So it'll work. Just like that. Now I'm going to dry it off. That's about it. I'm going to add a little bit of, oops, not dry enough. Don't think it's dry enough. I'm going to add a little bit of pencil here to finish up some of my sketch. And then I'm going to probably just, you know, doodle that in a little bit more. But I'm just going to doodle that in a bit here. There we go. Kind of even it out a bit. And like I said before, because of the pencil, I'm just going to put a little bit of a sealer on there. Not much. Just enough not to make a muck on my... I don't know if I have to worry about that, but I will, just because. The plan, I have my metallic lusters, I got black shimmer, and I was going to play with these. Now these are pretty hard, so I'm going to use my black shimmer. That's this one here. I'm going to use, I have my red, radiant red. This one's a bit creamy, so that's good. I may not use them all. I have Gold Rush. This one's, again, another dryish one. I have Elegant Emerald. I'm not sure which ones, this one's nice and moist. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to be using. And these are all from DecoArts. Cosmic Blue. So I'm kind of considering that the black, kind of like a non-color, fabulous fuchsia. This one's pretty hard. So I'm just going to use a few brushes here. I have some on the side. I'm going to use water to move them and add them to my piece. So since this is protected, I shouldn't be smearing this up too much. It's kind of an experimenting, moving my paper that I still have here, kind of experimenting with a semi kind of like a watercolor painting. So I don't know. Let's just go with the Gold Rush here. See how much of this. It doesn't really move the pencil now, whereas it would have moved the pencil if I did not seal it. It would have been smeared. Just using this like this, kind of like a watercolor. I'm not really wetting it too much, the paper ahead of time. See how far I can go with it, and if it doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. This was just a sketch that I kind of was playing with. So there we go. Using a little bit of water to and then wiping my brush with the paper towel to kind of clean it up too. So that's all I'm doing. It's kind of using this like a metallic set of watercolors, really. I haven't priced them out, the watercolors like this, metallic set of watercolors, but if you have these, you can use them like that. I thought it'd be fun to play at it. I had no idea I was going to quite use it like this, but I got a little bit of a resist on here, but I can go over it just from the spraying the pencil, but it doesn't look too bad on the gesso from the matte spray. And if I was doing a watercolor, I could wet the paper more. Don't want to bubble it up too much. That's nice. The light might be taking some of the color out on this side when you're on the video, but I like it. I can see it. So I'm just kind of wetting my brush, going back and forth. Now I'm going to go in a little bit more with this. And then I'm going to add maybe another little color in there. Got that. I've got the Radiant Red out. Now this one, it's a little creamy. Don't need as much water. And this is where I'm putting this one. And I have a few little lines in there. My birdie's having conversation. No one's playing with him. So that's that. And these are all metallic lusters from DecoArts. So I might want to put a little red tip. Kind of make it pinky red flower. So this wasn't really planned. All I knew is I want to do a canvas and I want to use these metallics. And then I'm like, well, I should put some background texture on it. Then I was like, well, I gotta put some gesso on it. So it kind of just came together from that. Yeah, there we go. Now I think I'm going to rinse this off. Go in with a, I'm going to leave my brush in here for a bit. Go in with a round, and I'm going to add a little bit of cheek color, I think. Maybe a little much, but I can just blend it in there. And I'll grab my... There we go. Grabbing some of that. What color was that pink? It's a Fab Fuchsia. My puppies are howling now. Grabbing it for some shading in here. Sorry, guys. Her lips. She's got quite a bit of pollen spots or something. I wasn't sure what I was making. I was just kind of making it up as I go along. So, And I kind of added them in places that would have some shades, so that's, yeah. That's kind of where I was going with that. It's kind of blendy on the video. We will fix that up. So I'm just kind of playing with it. Now I got the blue, and that is the Cosmic Blue. I don't want it to blend in too much, so I'm going to kind of try to put this on the edge so it doesn't blend into the flower part too much. I was practicing my faces, that's why I did this. I'm trying to practice, find a style that I like, and practice some faces. And now I'm just gonna, I have this big brush here, it's an angle brush, and I'm gonna use this one. I am deciding to add, I got some green here, it's the emerald, and I'm just gonna put some in the background and see. I got a lot of food coloring came out through, so I don't know, I'm just gonna throw some of this in here and see if I like it. Just to get some color going in the background a bit, and maybe I should have left more showing, I don't know, but this is what I'm doing. I'm kind of going with quite a bit of metallic in this one here. I'm actually not sure if I'm liking this brush. I'm going to go back with my round. I'm going to grab my black shimmer, and I'm just going to go in there and dirty it up. Really dirty it up. I'm putting a lot in now. This is just for fun, so I'm getting some, I just re-glued that little piece. I'm going to make sure that everything's glued down. I've got a lot of texture pickup, so I'm really enjoying that. And got a lot of liquid in here, so it's really looking nice. Move it through. And there. It's looking good. So I'm just kind of going around, dipping my brush in, going around and around, and just, that's what I'm doing. I'm liking the metallic. I don't think it's too much metallic. It's my metallic day. I'm liking that I added the green in the background. Maybe I'll go a little bit of the rosy color here and there. That fuchsia. I don't want to make mud, but I'm just going to dip and run. In a few places. Good. It might still be wet a bit, but we'll see. I'll try to take it easy. Try to take it easy. Don't want to rip anything. I have this beautiful piece and wreck it. I'll try to stay on the paper for now. Because up here it's kind of just pulling some paint off. So, just going to go do my outlining a bit with this watercolor pencil. Why? Just because if I do want to use it to smear with, or to, use some water to blend it or whatever I can. So, that's why. I'm using some of the techniques that I've seen Sonia do, Sandal, I think it's her name, I didn't even check. And where, there's doodling parts here. I don't usually do too much of that. So I'm just really wanting to have some fun with my doodling a bit here. Thinking about putting a stencil here. So what I did was I grabbed a piece of paper, I put it underneath, and I just rubbed on it to get an impression, because it's up, right? So get impression to cut along the side. So if I'm going to use ink, because that's what I want to use, I can now freely decide to stencil some ink in there. Just like that. Using my archival ink, sponging it on, and I don't have to worry about getting my background. So I just thought I would use this ink in here to kind of make a trail across the canvas. Interest, maybe, I don't know. And this is a metal, stencil brass template. And I had it for quite a while, so I don't know where I picked it up. But I thought I'd use it today. Isn't that pretty? Pulls in a little bit of something. Very neat. And then I'm just going to use my ruler, if I can find it, to go across here. Figure out where I'm going to stick it. The other lines. And then I'm going to put my paper right there. I got the rounded piece right there. Cut for me because I did the other side. Just like that. Continue my thing. I did use archival ink, permanent ink. Continue my design right across. Use this stencil from DecoArts and add some of these little flowers here. So I'm going to grab some black, if I have any out, and do that. So I have some carbon black in Tradition. I'm just going to shake it and probably use the lid. And finger paint. So I'm just going to do that. Could use sponge too. Could use whatever, but I just want to do this. Try not to go too crazy with paint where it's smearing everywhere. So I'm grabbing some from the other petals here. I'm going to pull some paint off just for the heck of it, but make sure I'm not getting black everywhere. See how that looks? I like that. I think I like that. Go ahead and stick one right here. I'm kind of mostly in the big spots. I'm kind of going rubbing towards the center or the end, but then I'm kind of dabbing so I don't get underneath the stencil. This is my best stencil for using my fingers. I just love the stencil for using my fingers. I think almost every time I have used my fingers for this one. It's so big. Ta-da! One more somewhere. Gonna go with this wonky one right in the edge because it's got the flat edge anyway. This one right here. off this stuff is I'm going to see if I can scratch any of it. I'm going to use some scratching techniques that I've seen done that actually I've seen Hickety Picky did done. That's her videos. I want to say Hickety Picky because then you'll know who I'm talking about. So I'm going to use some scratching techniques. Put some interest in this background. Now to do, I want to add a border. I didn't do that yet. So I have a basket. Where did I put my basket of borders? Whoa. Let's see. Do I want something dark? These are borders I've made. Gotta figure out what would look good. Can't see it on screen. Don't know if I like that. I like these ones. I kind of like this border, so I'm actually going to add it to this piece here. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. So I'm going to put it along here. And I'm going to take the back of my scissors, go along here. Try not to make too much of a rub mark on my... I was hoping that I would emboss it a little bit. It's what my theory is. Maybe I'll have to use my embossing tool or in the back of a paintbrush would work. So there we go. Now I know where to cut it. Just like that. I like it. I'm going to use tacky glue this time, I think. If I had stopped the video, you guys would have been there for 5 minutes. No, not really 5 minutes, but a whole, at least a minute. Look at my hands. Okay. Getting glue on my flower. There's one border piece in. These are the homemade borders I made. Love making them. I have a bunch of videos on them. So if you search borders on my YouTube, they should pop up. They're whimsical. There's mini borders for like small projects, and yeah, so there's just tons of borders. I think I have quite a few videos on that. And that is that. I really like that color with the green background. And now this one's pretty much, because the petals were not too far off. Look at that. I don't even have to really do too much to it. I think I'm going to go in a little bit further. And want perfect. Why? Because I'm so perfect. No. Because I'll try my best to get it right. I will have to actually cut some off. I could have got away with it if I wanted to, but just cut from this angle so I can see it. And then cut it off right here. If I'm off the camera, I don't know. And there we go. So I'm going to put that one on. It's going to take me a minute. I'm happy with it. Now I'm going to doodle tons and stuff like that, so I'm really happy with that. Doodling a bit here with my Posca. I've got some doodles. I don't know. I'm just going for it. I might need some outside doodles. just like this around. Can you guys see that? I don't know. Don't know if I'm adding more, so I still got quite a bit of space if I want to doodle more in there. Don't know. I think I'll add a little bit of Radiant Red. Is this one creamy? A little bit just in these. I'm not happy with it just being plain black, and this one's creamy enough that I can just do it with my fingers. Just like that. Add a little interest. Just like that. And it adds a lot of detail too in the paper, what's picking up on the mono paste and paper. I like that. What else goes? Blue. I don't think this one's creamy. No. It's a little bit, I'm getting a little bit on. Don't know how much is coming off. Wet my finger a bit. Then you have to put it back in the... Yeah, I'm going to add a little blue here and there. Just for some interest, go for all of it here. I think I'm going to stamp on here, guys, some script if I got it on hand. It's archival ink again. I'm using this roll script. Going through the background. So, adding some visual text. There just didn't seem like enough back there. Doesn't have to go through the whole thing, be perfect. I'm having fun. But yeah, it gives it a little bit more something to look at. I like it. This stamp has really been used a lot in my art. Just love it. I should have ordered the handle, but I really swore I thought I had the handle because I had a few different sizes, but I guess they make new ones every so often. I don't know. Different sizes. And it was too expensive. I wasn't about to go spend what I spent on that one of these when I knew I wasn't going to buy another one on a handle. So, stuck it on there. I want to get around this flower a little bit more. There we go. Just going a little bit close. There we go. Got quite a bit of interest in there now. Happy. Metallic lusters, a little bit of the black shimmer. Darken up some of these flower parts here. I find too bright. I'm gonna just go in and play with it. Don't know. Add a little bit of shadow in my flower. More water. It's kind of neat how you can just use these in different ways. Just adding some shadowing. make it a little more realistic. Not far from realistic photo, but I gotta know there'll be some shadowing in my flower. And my petals. See how they would overlap a bit. Now I'm just going to kind of go a little bit like around and around my petals a bit here. Just all the way around. So I'm just kind of making up as I go along, and I'm enjoying it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this process with me. I think I'm pretty close to done. I don't know if I'm going to add any splatters or not. But that's about it, my friends. What do you think? I might doodle around flowers a bit. And see, if I go too far, I go too far. It's not a big deal. I'm hoping I won't, but it's a little bit of a different piece for me. But I was inspired by Hickety Pickety to do something a little bit more out of my, I don't know, just a little something crazy. I'm always crazy, but this is kind of a different crazy. So now I'm just going to darken it, my edges a bit here. And there we go. Hope you guys like that and think I'm done. I might add some more doodles to it, but I'm pretty much done. I'll show a picture at the end when it's dry, and if I do add doodles, you'll see them. Don't forget to craft like a duck. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. I'm going to dry this up, and you'll see some pictures at the end. I'm adding a bit of white. I added a bit of white to the center of her face, some highlights here with the paintbrush, and I'm using cotton white. And I started using some in the flower. Just couldn't leave it alone to want to paint a little bit on her. Just to really, I do that, and I wanted to do some highlights or something. Add some acrylic paint, so now there's acrylic paint on here as well as the glimmer mists, and yeah, I did have some black acrylic paint, but a little bit more now, some white, just to blend in. It just, I think it pulls it a little bit together. These ones don't have it here. And I think it pulls it a little bit together. So, yeah. Let's do that. It's just like, even if I was doodling, it's kind of just like that. It's just doodling with paint. Really. So that's what I'm doing. No right, no wrong, just fun. Just enjoying it. So that's what I'm doing. So I thought I'd just share that because it's going to look quite a bit more different than I think. You'll just see, it might be something you guys can't put your finger on that you notice different, but I want to kind of point it out in this part here. So, just so you know, there we go. Could be doing this for a while, I don't know. But I thought I'd share with you guys that I was adding some more acrylic to it. Just adding a very long brush to the white here. I think I'm better at this than doodling. Making it pop a little bit more on top of what I have the gray there already, so it's kind of really looking good, I think, with that. I know there's a lot of glare on that, but that's just gonna put a little bit more. Just adding it like that. A little bit more here. I'm dipping my watercolor pencil in the water rather than just scraping it. I'm getting a better result that way with getting all the way around my doodles around. Really like that. So I'm just kind of doodling here now. And it's really working nice. I really like it. So, I think I'm pretty much done now. I'm really happy with it. So, there we go. I gotta do one more doodle around this flower that I didn't do yet. Dipping in my water. And that's how I'm getting the color to go through better. So let's see if I should kind of outline her a bit this way. Dipping my pencil. Making her punch just a little bit out. It really did blend well, but I want some of this to pop out. There we go. If I touch this with a pen or not, I'm not sure. There we go. Happy with it now. Don't forget to craft like a duck, guys. Bye. I know it's going to be a long one.